Right, hello. Stockman P there. Here we go. Episode number 4. Now, look, as I've said, a lot of these are straight off the top of my head. I'm trying to follow them in sequence, but we're just muddling along. Right, now, this boarding house. We come on to the second little story about this meal table. We've already seen Billy the Kid off. Right, now, so we're back there with the giantess. Steamy old day. She's had a good old drink of the old gin, believe you me. So we're round the table. Now, with her little friend, I never did quite get to the bottom of that, but anyway. So out come the old dishes, quite eye-sided dishes. She's put them all out. We'd all got our bread by someone, and that wasn't me. And she poured in the tomato soup, the aperitif before the main meal. It did slop a bit. Boom. So there we are. And back she stood, swig of the old gin and the old spatula thing, and that funny little chap. Anyway, and so I kind of looked down at my soup, and I thought, oh my God. And I looked at everyone else, and everyone else was having a look at their soup, and no one was saying nothing. Well, he wouldn't want to say nothing to this woman. I'm telling you, she was an absolute monster, alcoholic one. And I looked and I thought, oh God, I thought, there's a maggot crawling up the side of my dish. And I looked twice. I didn't need glasses then, I'll tell you. I looked twice, and everyone else, I thought, someone's got to say something. No one would. No one would. So I said, it was me, the silly pommy. So I said, excuse me, Mrs. Adams. I said, I believe there's a maggot crawling up the side of my dish. And I spoke to the giantess. And that was a suicidal thing to do, really. And they all looked at me and thought someone had said something, and it's him. And she broke down. She went into a right stammer, and that little ferret bloke chap pulled her bottle of gin out and gave it to her. She had a sweek. Straight gin, she's nothing with it, never had nothing with it, to spoil it. Anyway, never got watered down. And she was all upset, God knows what, and I sat there. She said, I throw a few handfuls of rice in to fortify it for you all. She said, and this is the sort of response I get. Oh, and off she went, absolutely. And I thought it's going to come right back at me in a minute. And I said, oh, no. I said, coward here. Yes, absolute blimmin' coward. So was everyone else, I can tell you. I said, oh, I am sorry, Mrs. Adams. I'm quite mistaken. It must have just been some of your rice you threw in. And we was all that scared of her. To see this woman to believe it, And we all ate the tomato soup. I said, I hadn't done me no harm, but we all ate the tomato soup, the whole lot. And for punishment detail, I got short measures in the main meal. So there, never volunteer. Right, so that was that. Now, they had this chap there called Cedric. And he was from the London Underground, Union rep, God knows what, all this. And the story was that they were so sick of him, 5'4", short little fat thing, glasses, knew every rule in the book, every rule there was. But the London Underground put the fair together for him to go out also, and we're glad to get rid of him. Bang, so there he is there. And this sort of chap, he went out at driving lessons, and he said, made sure he got the government one. They questioned him about that because the government one was more expensive than someone private. He said, I'll only have the one lesson. And went out there, and he put a seatbelt on, which what you didn't need to put a seatbelt on in them days. It was funny, it was even fitted in the car, but he put it on. And he got the bloke to do showing the emergency stop. And he said, and that's it, he said, I want the ambulance called. He said, I've crossed my chest in. Anyway, that was him. In all the rules and regulations, it all went on. He ended up getting a small little pension out of it in the end. He got a small little, and, he was absolute blimmin' thing. And so there he is there. And one day, Mrs. Adams stumbled past his door because he had a different sort of room to us. He paid a bit extra for this room at the back of the building. I can visualise it under all the old glass, and it tucked up in the corner. And she heard a sound in there, and she knocked on the door. Well, this Cedric came out, and she caught wind of something or saw something, and she pushed the door. Well, she nearly pushed the door in. And out comes Cedric's dad. He'd smuggled him into Australia. He'd got him into Australia somehow. And of course we were all aghast. And Mrs. Adams was absolutely livid, and God knows what, till Cedric, thinking on his feet, said, look, me and my old dad, we'll take the garage down the bottom of the garden. It was all overgrown. I said this before, all overgrown. We'll go and stay in the garage. So you get 2 rents there. And then, because there was 2 of us in this room here, I'm sure you could fit 2 or 3 in there, and you get 2 or 3. I said, that's 5 or 6 rents extra you're going to get. Well, that calmed her down considerably, and she agreed to all that. So Cedric and his dad moved out of his. How we got him into the country, I don't know. Went down to the garage. Well, I'm there one day watching a bit of telly and all this, that, and them, the chat, and I saw a bloke bringing up a black power cable to the house, and connected it in somewhere, and this and that. And there was a bit of a road to the side, a dusky old road, trees overhanging it, not made up tar or nothing, no lights. And one night there was lanterns leading down to it. And I thought, oh yeah, So I went down there, and there's a bloke on the door. And this is the garage. And I said, what's going on here? And he said, I forget the exact name of it. He said, it's just opened last night. He said, doing very, very well. He said, this is the Bellevue Disco. I said, you what? So in I went. I was lucky I could go in. And there's Cedric and his dad. They'd had a toilet put in there. And they'd got a DJ at the back. They'd opened the garage, it's a big garage, opened the garage up as a disco, big enough to get 40 or 50 people in, that's all. They opened up, I think it was the Bellevue Disco. Blue Lagoon Disco, sorry, the Blue Lagoon Disco. It just come to me, the Blue Lagoon Disco. And I had a bouncer on the door. I got a free drink to keep quiet. And this went on. I couldn't believe they'd done this. It was flashing lights for lockdown, and it was quite popular actually. It was quite popular. People were stopping there and having a drink and all this and that before they went to Sydney. Now, they had no drinking licence, they had no venue licence, no health and safety licence, no fast, they had nothing. No one knew it was there till about 3 weeks later when the police closed it down. But they went 3 weeks at the Blue Lagoon Disco. I couldn't believe they actually bloody well, but they actually done that, they did. But anyway, Mrs. Adams got a payoff, so she was happy, and a few bottles of gin and everything. And up they come and everything, and all got sorted out, all taken away, and they still stayed in that garage down there. And Jenny started to pay them a little bit of a visit down there. And I didn't like this Cedric. He was a right shifty old thing. And someone told Jenny, and I don't know who, nose hasn't grown, does it? No, I don't know who, that Cedric had quite a bit of money put away. Well, all of a sudden that changed circumstances, and I was down the road at the old RSL, that's a Returned Soldiers League, because I'd done my 2 years national service, but we'll get into that later on. And he was crying over the fruit machine, and I said, oh, what's the matter, Cedric? He said, that bloody thing's only gone and got pregnant. I said, well, congratulations. I said, I'm sure you, her, and your lovely mother-in-law, oh my God, are going to be as happy as a lark. And I don't know what's happened to him. I don't know what happened to the old man. Or I know what happened to the Blue Lagoon, but I don't know what happened to the old man or Cedric. Because circumstances took me off one Sunday afternoon about 3 o'clock. Knock, knock, knock on the door. Bit of sound effects there. Knock, knock, knock on the door. And there he stood, Sergeant Rourke, with a great big smile. And he said, oh, and then he said, he said, oh, so-and-so. I said, yeah. He said, born so-and-so. I said, yeah. He said, well, how unfortunate for you. I said, why is that? He said, you've got 10 minutes to get in the back of that lorry. But that's for next week. And we start our national service. And many a story there, believe you me. But Mrs. Adams' boarding's household, fond memories, some right old times. But that job, I don't know what, she must have died. Honestly, 6'10", 7 foot, absolute huge bottles of whiskey, of gin rather, and but the food wasn't too bad, to be honest about it, and she wasn't too bad if you kept well clear of her, and those days are gone. Okay, till next week. Stockman Pete, see you next week.